Okay, hello everybody. This is our special call with one of the most amazing men in the whole wide world, Jerry Roisentul. So Jerry absolutely blew us away when he did a call for us quite a few weeks ago now, and everybody came off the call literally like vibrating, shaking, as did I. I've got so much paper tonight because I'm like, Jerry just has so much content and value that I physically can't write fast enough. So Jerry has been kind enough to do a second call for us, which I am personally overwhelmed with gratitude about. He is an incredibly busy man. His agenda is packed out to the brim. So getting this call in, like, I'm so humbled and thankful for you, Jerry. And even more so that we were trying to work out with the time changes, because in the States, you guys have had an hour change. We haven't had an hour change yet. So it's all got a little bit confusing, but we managed to get it in and get it on. And Jerry, you won't know this, but some people on this call are that excited to hear you train that they're literally sat in their cars, like waiting to go into a DA to listen to what you've got to say first. Some of them are at their kids' football, soccer matches, like in the car with their headphones, because they're like, I don't want to miss it. I don't want to miss it. And they were just saying it before you got on. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll let you take it away.
Danny, first of all, you need to work on your passion. I mean, we talk about this all the time. I mean, come on now. Danny, first of all, I just want to say before we get rocking and rolling into today's call, how honored and privileged I am, truthfully, to be here with all of you. Danny and I are trying to work it out to where we can actually do this once a month. And I told Danny the only way I'm going to do this once a month is that we grow these calls. You grow your teams, we grow these calls, because I believe on these calls. So, okay, yeah, let's mute some people out. Oh, I love you too, Claire. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so here's the thing. Before we get started, I have something I want to say. And first of all, I just want to say, I've been working with Danny for over 3 years now. And to be able to see her as a national vice president. I always saw Danny as a national vice president long before she actually earned the letters. And to see her walk in her greatness and her leadership, but to see her training on stage as the keynote at Areas in Paradise last weekend at Donna Johnson's event, or 2 weekends ago. Danny, I am just unbelievably proud of you. And the joy that you bring to people. And I'm just grateful that when you became a nation, you didn't stop working with me. You said, hey, we got a whole bunch of people to help now. And so our journey continues. And so I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you, my friend. What a great leader you have in Danny. I know you all know that, but Danny can't edify herself. So I'm going to edify her for everybody. So great job, my friend, and I'm fired up to be here. I can't believe we have almost 40 people on the line. If you have questions or you just want to pop some thoughts into the chat bar, I'm here. I'm looking at the chat bar. Pop your question, do what you want to do. I told Danny I had no idea what I was going to talk about getting on this call, which usually means they're going to be phenomenal calls. So, I want to start off and talk about a couple of things with all of you that I really think is so vitally important. And Danny had asked me to talk a little bit about the goal card, and I know that she's trained on it. But I want to I'm not going to take the call to really get into that in detail, because I don't want to take the whole call to do that. I do want to talk to you just for a second about the power of the goal card. So first of all, don't burst, Debbie. I know you're excited, but don't burst. That would be crazy. She just explodes where she's at. So first of all, about the goal card. Number one, if you don't know what the goal card is, talk to Danny. She's a master at the goal card, okay? But I want to just make mention of something in regards to that. The most important thing that you can do, oops. Thank you, Danny. The most important thing that you can do in this business is develop and strengthen your mindset. There is nothing more important than that. And there's no tool that has had a greater profound effect in people's lives than the goal card. It's simple in its nature, but it's powerful in its outcome. And the gold card is something that people do whenever they kind of feel like it. Everywhere I go to summits around the country, I hear people coming up to me, oh, Jerry, you know, that gold card, I kind of have lost it. I kind of did this. That they're actually apologizing to me. It's like, look, don't apologize to me for you not using a tool that's going to help you grow your business and your life. Apologize to yourself for being lazy, because at the end of the day, the only reason we don't do the gold card is we get lazy. And you go, oh man, that's brutal. Hey, listen, you guys, if you don't know anything about me, then know this. I tell it like it is. I don't sugarcoat things. I'm not here to kumbaya. You know I love all of you guys, but you got to hear the truth. And the only reason that we don't do our gold card at times is because we get lazy and we get distracted, and then our business drops and we can't figure out why. And I always ask people, hey, how you doing on your gold card? Well, you know, this and that. Thank you, Danny. Proper kick in the butt with love. That's what I do here on these calls. I love you guys. So here's the thing. You got to be doing the gold card. There is no, if you really want to help yourself do that, okay? The gold card is done 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times, 5 different times throughout the day, minimum of 25 times. Okay, I don't know how much clearer I can make it. Okay, 5 times, 5 different times throughout the day with feeling and emotion. It is imperative that you do that. It is as much a it's as important to your success as all of the Arbonne products are to people's success on the 30-day healthy living program. Okay, if you do the 30-day healthy living program and you don't have all those great products, people aren't going to have the success that they're capable of. Well, the gold card is your daily success. You need to make it a habit. It needs to be something you do. Please don't tell me. Please don't tell me, well, I don't have the time. What do you mean you don't have the time? Like the woman who came to me at a summit one day, angry, said to me, you know, Jerry, that gold card's fantastic, but I don't have the time to do it. And I says, why? Because I'm busy. I said, well, really? Well, tell me a little bit about your life. So she tells me about her days. Oh my gosh, well, I wake up in the morning, I've got 3 kids, I got to take my kids to school, I have to do this, I have to go to work, I have to come home, I have to cook, I have to bake, I have to bathe, I have to homework. I mean, I was exhausted listening to the poor thing. And I said to her, I said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you see the value of the gold card? She says, I do. And I said, so if I found you time to do it, would you do it? Did you not listen to me? I don't have the time. I got it. But if I could find the time, would you do it? Yeah. And I said, no. There's no yeah. It's yes, I will. No, I won't. I don't really care. I'm just asking you, would you do it if I found you the time? Yes, I would. Are you a woman of your word? Yes, I am. Fantastic. I said, do you know the difference, one of the differences between you and I? She said, what? I said, every time you go to the bathroom, you have to sit down.
Oh, wow.
I said, so every time you go to the bathroom, read your gold card. She says, I'm not going to read my gold card on the toilet. I said, hey, you told me that you were a woman of your word, and if I found you the time, and I just found you the time, well, she stormed off angry. 3 days later, I get an email from her.
Some milk. You want some milk?
How come there's so much noise, Danny? There we go. Okay. So she said, so 3 days later, she emails me, and she says to me, Jerry, my husband asked me to please send you an email and thank you for all the wonderful laughs he's had the last several days listening to me read my gold card on the toilet. Okay? There is no excuses. My toilet gold card gets the most use. That's good, Charlie. I love it. It gets the most. It's true. When you're sitting there, you're just looking at this. Read your gold card. Just say it out loud. Who cares? You're at home. Now, I would encourage you. might not be the best idea in a public restroom, okay? That might not be the greatest thing for someone to walk into a public restroom at the airport and you're in the bathroom going, I'm so happy and grateful. I don't know if that would go over very well, but do it in your house. But you've got to do the gold card. There's no exceptions. And so I want people on this call in Danny Wells Nation to commit to themselves that for the next 14 days, I am challenging you to do your gold card every day, 5 times, 5 different times throughout the day, feeling an emotion, no excuses, no exceptions. 14 days. Wow, that sounds like a lot of time, Jerry. Listen, if you can get human beings to stop eating gluten, dairy, and sugar for 30 days, you can do this for 14 days, right, Danny? Come on now, okay? So if you want to accept the Gold Card Challenge and you're going to be tired of messing around, stop playing around, and you're going to do it. There we go. Look at this, Danny, filling up, accepted. That's what I'm talking about, accepted. I wonder why I got strange looks coming out of a public. That's why. Okay, now here's the thing. Don't just accept and then go back to your laziness. If you're going to accept, do it. If you're going to accept, make it happen. So that when we talk next month, I want to hear, what's the difference? What's the difference? How did it work for you? Okay? So that's my challenge to all of you on the gold card. But that's not even my training for the day. Oh my goodness gracious. Danny, how much time do we have, by the way?
You can have as long as you like.
Okay, well, I'm going to go maybe 30 minutes. Okay, I want to be respectful of people's times, but I'm going to do a training for you. That's going to be kind of weird when you hear the title of the training. And the title of this training that I want to share with you today is very simply, it's time for you to quit. I just want that to kind of marinate for a second. It's time for you to quit. And you're thinking to yourself, Jerry, I have heard you say that there's never a right time to quit. I have heard you say quitters never win and winners never quit. I've heard you say that. Now you're telling me it's time for me to quit? Yes. But it's time for you to quit marinating on some of the mental roadblocks that keep us from being successful. It is time for us to quit thinking about things that are not serving us, that are not helping us, that are not moving us forward, that are not growing our businesses and our lives. It is time to quit going over several things that I'm going to talk to you about today. These are things that I deal with in coaching all the time. These are things that changed my life. These are things that changed my business. But there are 6 specific things I want to discuss with you today that it's time to quit. And I believe that if we quit these things, if we quit thinking about these, worrying about these, marinating on these thoughts, if we quit these things, I believe that we are going to set ourselves free to move to the next level of our life and our business. So I hope you're ready. I hope your seatbelts are strapped on because we're going to get ready for a wild and crazy ride, and here we go. So the first thing that it's time for you to quit is you got to quit listening to the critics. You got to quit listening to the people who are more jacked up than you are. You got to quit listening to all the people who are telling you you can't, you won't, you shouldn't. What are you thinking about? What do you know? You don't know anything about health. All this stuff. Man, you got to knock it off. You got to quit listening to them. Tune out a deaf ear and surround yourself with people who love you, support you, encourage you, and want to help you accomplish your dreams. Because let me tell you something, my friends. Anytime you're going to step out of the status quo bubble and try to move your life forward, you are going to have critics. In fact, if you don't have critics, you aren't doing anything worth anything. There's always going to be people coming out telling you Oh no. And most of the time, it's the friends and family in our lives that we thought would support us and encourage us, and they have nothing but negative things to say, and we feel discouraged. And here's what I learned. Success is the greatest revenge. It is. You go and you win. You become a VP. You get your car. You drive into the neighborhood of all your negative friends and family. Beep, beep. Hey, hey, suckers, look at me now. And you have the last laugh. We got to stop listening to the critics. Do you know that I have critics? I'm a loving guy. I love everyone. Everyone that comes to a summit doesn't leave without a hug. But I have critics. I have people that don't like me because I'm a, quote, outside speaker. Okay, well, who cares? I have people that don't like me because I talk too loud. Who cares? All I know is, listen to me. Don't ever change who you are to please somebody else that will never be around long enough to appreciate it. Woo! Oh, mom, somebody. Don't ever change yourself. Don't ever change who you are to please somebody else that will never be around long enough to appreciate it. And you know what, Marie, ladies, I'm in the negative husband cap. I now do not talk Robin with him. He can't say anything. Right. Big deal, Marie. Great thing. How do I deal with my negative spouse who's the worst critic of all? Can I win with a negative spouse? Yes, you can. But your goals have to be bigger than the crap you're listening to. Did you hear what I said? Your goals have to be louder than the garbage you're hearing. And you know how you go turn a negative spouse positive? You really want to learn? You want to know how you do it? There's 3 words. Go make money. That's how things change. Go make money. Men see you making money, all of a sudden things change. Go make money. But the first thing we need to quit is we need to quit listening and caring about what the critics are saying. A young woman went down to go audition for a role in the movie King Kong. And the director looked her in the eyes and said to her, "We can't give you the role because you're too ugly." That's what the director told this lady. You're too ugly. So she had a decision. Was I going to listen to the critics tell me that I'm ugly and buy it and believe it? Or was I going to use it to fuel me and to get me going? And she went into the director, looked him into the eye and said, "You know what? I'm so sorry that you think I'm ugly. But I'm going to go out and I'm going to go find a different director who sees the beauty in me. And then you'll be the last one to laugh." Well, guess what? That's exactly what Meryl Streep did. And 18 Academy Awards later, the ugly woman had the last laugh. That's what happens when you don't listen to the critics. When somebody criticizes you, say, "Hey, thanks for your input," and move on. That's what I always say. Thanks for your input. Number 1, first thing you got to quit. Quit listening and caring about what the critics say. Number 2, quit fearing change. There are 3 things that are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and change. Okay, that's it. We got to quit fearing change. Change is a part of the business. It's a part of growth. It's what we do. You have to learn to ask yourself some questions when it comes to change. Number 1, what's the worst thing that can happen if I make a change? That's what my father always used to teach me. What's the worst thing that will happen if you make a change? The second question is, what's the best thing that will happen if I don't make a change? Okay, so what's the worst thing that can happen if I change? What's the best thing that will happen if I don't change? And here's the thing. If you're unhappy with the status quo and all you're likely to do is get more of the same by doing more of the same, then you've got a choice to make. Either you learn to love what you already have, or you get off your butt and you go change and do something different. See, sometimes change happens, like, for instance, during the holidays. You know, when people are busy with their families, end of the year, Christmas time's coming up. And people are doing the same things. They're trying to get in to set appointments. Nobody wants to set appointments. Nobody wants to see people. It's the holidays. So here's what happens. When people can't get appointments set up, guess what they do? See you next year. I'm done. That's what failures do. What winners do is they go, you know what? This approach isn't working right now. So rather than throwing in the white flag and saying I'm done, I'm going to change my approach, try something different, because I am determined to make sure I have a great month. That's what champs do. You change, you adapt. Now, with that said, I didn't say to you, you change your system. Because that's what everyone thinks. Oh, I'm going to go change the system. No, you're not going to go change the system. Danny is a national vice president. The system she teaches is the system you use. I'm not talking about changing that. I'm talking about changing your approach to things. Stop fearing change. Well, I'm trying to set up one-on-ones. It's not working. Okay, well, how about if you change your approach and try a different direction? Maybe a different direction will work right now. Maybe if that doesn't work, you try something else, but don't get so caught up in a box that you never change and adapt to what you're doing. You know, somebody put here, good old tracker, Danny. Absolutely. That's why Danny created that tracker. That's the whole purpose of that tracker. And it's an amazing tool to use. I've seen it. It's incredible. You got to use the tracker. You've got to use the tools, but you got to quit fearing change, because when change happens, so do amazing things. But you have to believe that. And that's the second thing you need to quit. Quit fearing change. Number 3, this is a big one. Quit making your past the reason why you can't win now. Quit making your past the reason that you can't win now. I have too many people that I coach that are holding on to their past. Let me tell you something, you guys. We all have a past. Okay? All of us do. Some of our pasts were horrible. Some of our pasts were great. But we all have a past. But you either become a victim of your past, or you become a learner of your past. And what I mean by learner of your past is you learn things that you need to learn through the experiences that you've had to make you a better person today. We need to let go of the things we can't change. I always tell people this all the time. Don't let the pains of your past poison the blessings of your future. We've got to let go of the past. Quit holding on to the past so that we can win now in the future. I hear people that are talking to me about things that happened 2 months ago, didn't happen. You can't change what didn't happen 2 months ago. Why are you thinking about that? Like, here's another example. We're on day 19 in March. We're a little more than halfway through the month. What can you do right now to change anything that happened in the prior 18 days? The answer is nothing. So why do we put any energy on thinking about that? I can't tell you how many people I'm talking to that are still frustrated that they're not where they want to be halfway through the month. They're not where they want to be right now. Now, I understand the frustration, but can you change anything from the past 18 days that's going to affect a difference in your business? No. All you can do is turn your attention to the next 13 days that's left and say, I'm going to do more in the last 13 days than I did in the first 18 days combined. It is a total, complete, utter mindset. If we're going to move forward, we need to quit making our past the reason that we cannot win right now. And we need to let it go, and we need to move forward and do the things we can today. I don't care where you are right now. I don't care where your business looks like right now. You have 13 days left in this month. Anything can change, but you got to let go of what's already gone. Don't hold on to it. Move on from it And that's how you start to make things happen. So that's number 3, is we've got to quit making our past the reason we can't win right now. Number 4 is we have to quit living fearfully and start living fearlessly. We have to quit living fearfully, start living fearlessly. See, living fearlessly is not the same as never being afraid. It's good to be afraid occasionally. Fear can be a great teacher. What's not good is living in fear, allowing fear to dictate your choices, allowing fear to define who you are as a person. See, when you live fearlessly, that means that you stand up to fear and you refuse to allow fear to shape your life and define your life. Living fearlessly means that you take risks, you take gambles, you don't play it safe. You know what most people do? Is they tiptoe through life and hope they slide into death safely. That's what people do. They tiptoe through life. Okay, I don't want anything. And slide into death safely. That's not a way to live. You've got to understand that living fearlessly means you don't play it safe. You take calculated risks. You refuse to take no for an answer when you're sure the answer should have been yes. That's called follow-up. It means refusing to settle for less than what is yours. My gosh, fear paralyzes all of us so many times. It's a waste of energy, my friends. We've got to stop living fearfully and start living fearlessly and go out there and do those things that we fear the most. Do those things that are scary to us. Fear of what people think of me. Yeah, Kate, let me tell you something. Nobody is thinking about you. Don't give yourself that kind of credit. Nobody's thinking about you. Nobody's thinking about Danny. Nobody's thinking about me. It doesn't matter. See, here's the thing. What people think about you is not putting food on your table. What people think about you is not paying your mortgage. What people think about you is not helping take care of your kids. So guess what? What they think about you is none of your business anyway. You know what? I don't care what people think about me. And here's what happened. If I cared what people thought about me, I couldn't do what I do the way I do it on this call because I'd be too concerned of hurting people's feelings. I'd be too concerned of offending people. I'd be too concerned with people aren't going to like me. And it doesn't matter. You know why? I care more about helping you than how you feel about me in the moment I'm trying to help you. I used to tell my team all the time, I'd say, Danny, I don't really care how you feel about me now. Come back and tell me how you feel about me when you're driving the Mercedes. That's what I used to tell people. It doesn't matter in that moment. We're holding ourselves back from letting this story reach people. Yes, you're absolutely right, Danny. You're absolutely right. We have to start living fearlessly. Do what you fear most and you will overcome your fear. We have to quit allowing fear to rob us of our dreams. That's number 4. Number 5 is you got to quit putting yourself down. Oh my gosh, I listen to people all day long put themselves down. Stop putting yourself down for what you did or who you are. Success is about what you can do and who you can become. You need to stop putting yourself down every time something doesn't go right. I hear people that the words that they say about themselves, the negativity that they talk about with themselves is absolutely incredible. They put themselves down. You need to lift yourself up, my friend. You need to lift yourself up. You need to find the reasons to be excited. You need to stop putting yourself down when things don't go right or, oh my gosh, well, this appointment didn't go well or this person quit but guess what? It happened to everybody. It happened to Danny. You know why Danny's an MVP? Because she worked through all that crap. That didn't mean that she didn't go through it. She worked through it. There's a difference. And we get to the point we put ourselves down all the time. Maybe you grew up in an environment where nobody told you that you can win, that you can be successful, that you've got what it takes, that there's greatness inside of you, that there are dreams inside of you. There are lives that need to be changed with what you know. Maybe nobody has ever told you that, but I'm telling you that now. You are all worthy of success, every one of you. My Journey to Nation was like the bear hunt book. We're going on a bear hunt. You have to go over it. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Stop putting yourself down and start lifting yourself up. And if you don't have the energy to lift yourself up, my friends, get around people who can. Get around people who will remind you, hey, you fell again? Wonderful. Get up, dust off, let's go. It's amazing how it's easy to do that with our kids. All of us rotten parents that we are, right? We're going to teach our kids how to ride a bike with no training wheels. And we know they're going to fall. We know it. It's inevitable. Do we tell them they're going to fall? Of course not. We just hold the bike and go, okay, little Joshy, bam, and they hit the pavement. And they're crying. And we get them up and we dust them off. And what do we tell them? You're a loser. I cannot believe that you cannot balance yourself. What is wrong with? No, we don't say that. What do? It's okay, honey. Don't worry. It was your first time. Everybody falls. Let's do it again. And we, horrible parents, keep letting them fall until they finally figure out how to balance. My friends, sometimes you got to keep falling, but you got to keep getting back up, because that's how you learn. That's how you grow. You don't put yourself down when you fall. You lift yourself up and do it again and do it again. Let's take the example of what we do for our little kids and let's apply it to our own lives. That's what we need to do. Why do we support others more than ourselves? That's a good question, Zinzi. Great question. Because it's easier to tell other people what they need to do than for us to do it ourselves, right? It's easier to teach people how to do the 30-day healthy living program than for us to eat properly, right? We have to work on ourselves. But man, we could tell everybody else what we need to do. Hey, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that, and then you're not doing any of it, right? It's easier to do that. But we've got to stop. We got to quit putting ourselves down, and we got to start lifting ourselves up. Final thing I want to talk to you about today, and then we'll open it up for questions. You got to quit playing around with your life. My friends, this is not a dress rehearsal. I'm sorry to tell you, you don't get a second shot at this thing called life. This is it. This is it. There is no do-overs, my friends. This is it. When your lights are turned out, they're out. There's no going back and, well, let me do that again. I'm sick and tired of seeing people playing around with life. You got to quit playing around with life, and you need to go out and start winning in life. We have this great vehicle that you have. You have a leader who has shown you the possibilities of what can happen. And we sit around and we play around with this business. We treat it like a hobby. We don't treat it like an actual business. We do it sporadically. We do it when it's comfortable. We do it for 1 month and then we vanish the next month. Listen, there comes a time in our lives where we have to stand up as leaders and say enough is enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired of struggling. I'm tired of not living up to my potential. I'm tired of not being able to fulfill the destiny that I have. I'm sick and tired of playing around with my life. I've been playing around with life for 20, 30, 40 years. I am now going to go out and start winning in my life. I'm not going to endure life. I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy my life. And I'm going to go win. And I'm going to go take the no's so my kids don't have to. I'm going to go out and get beat up so my kids don't have to. I'm going to go set an example for my kids to follow so they have somebody to look at, so that they don't have to look at all these crappy movie stars and people on TV that are doing all this stupid stuff, and that's their models to look at. Hell no. I'm going to be the model that my son follows. I'm going to go out and show him that you can do anything in your life if you put your mind to it, if you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to do what needs to be done. When are we going to stop playing around with our lives and start winning in our life? When are we going to stop making excuses for everything and realize that excuses are the reason we are where we are? It is time, my friends, to stop playing around with life. Because just like that, my friends, life passes you by. One of my favorite sayings that I created, I used to have this on the answering machine at my office, and that is this: make the most out of each day that you're given, because you never know how many more tomorrows you're going to get. We don't know how many more tomorrows we have. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. And yes, Maria, an alarm clock to start your day. That's how you do it. You have a Jerry alarm clock. And instead of it playing music, it buzzes and goes, "You're a winner, you're a champion, you can do it, it's going to be okay." My friends, it's time to quit doing all these things, and it's time to start winning. And I want to encourage all of you to ask yourself the question, what would it be like if you can have this kind of message from me every single day of the week? What would that value be if you could sit in front of your computer every morning and have me speak life into you, just like the alarm clock? What would that be worth? Well, my friends, I got tired of so many people asking me to create something that can help them, that we just went out and created it. If you're not familiar with our champion mentorship community, you need to be. Our championmentorship.com community was designed for one purpose and one purpose only, is for me to have the opportunity to speak into your life every single day of the week. Every day of the week. 5, 6, 7, 8-minute messages every day to get your mindset working correctly. Our community has changed so many people's lives. I'm not here trying to sell you on my community. I'm here to encourage you to check it out. I'm going to put the website in here, championmentorship.com. Go to our website. Scroll down. Look what we get. Check out our sample videos of the kind of trainings we do. And you can get involved with our community for $9.90 US dollars per month. That's nothing. People spend more on Netflix than they spend on that. It is the best investment you can make to work on your mind every single day and have me speak life into you on a daily basis. So if you're interested, go check out our community. You can sign up right online. There's a place to sign up. Just go check it out. Take a look at it. But that's what I do with so many of the VPs. Yeah, we coach every month, but many of them are involved in our community as well. And they're listening to messages every day in between our calls. Because you know what? We need to be encouraged, my friends. We need to be uplifted. And that's my passion. That's my heart. That's what I'm trying to do. And that's why I told Danny's I want to do these calls with you and your team every single month, because I just want to encourage you and inspire you and remind you that there is greatness inside of you. There is absolute greatness inside of you. Danny, you're funny. You are funny. So I hope that encourages you, fires you up, pumps you up, gives you something to think about. I'm going to turn it over to Danny, and then we're going to open it up for questions. Either you can unmute yourself and ask, or leave a question in the chat bar, and we'll spend another 10 minutes or so doing that. So, Danny, I'll turn it back over to you.
Oh my gosh, I've had a double dose of Jerry today as well. So we had our coaching call this afternoon and it was powerful. Jerry, you are just phenomenal. I could feel like hair standing on end, goosebumps. That was amazing. That really was. So all I would say is, like Jerry said, if anyone has got any questions, like now's the chance. Like if that was me, I'd be like, unmute, ask my question straight away. Like if there's something that you feel like, oh my gosh, there's something that's there that's preventing me cracking on in March, like just unmute and jump in before anybody else does.
Yeah, don't wait.
Jerry, give us your answer machine again.
That was Andy, and then we'll do Claire next.
Yeah, Jerry,
Okay.
what's your answer machine again? I was writing so fast and I can't understand my own blooming writing. So make the most out of each day that is given.
Hold on a minute. Is this really a man? There's a man on the call? I'm excited.
Woohoo!
How are you, buddy?
I'm very good, thanks. Thank you so much for your training, by the way.
Thank you so much. Let me say that for you again. Okay, for everybody. Make the most out of every day that you're given, because you never know how many more tomorrows you're going to get.
Thank you.
Gaz,
You're welcome.
I think Gaz wants to wave as well. We've got another man on.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm here too, don't worry.
Woo, another man. Yeah, baby. Come on. Men representing. I love it.
Okay, Claire, did you want to unmute and ask your question, lovely?
Yeah, thank you. I was just going to say, because it has been in the chat as well, like all this stuff about, you know, what people think of you is none of your business, and not going with the fear. But how do you get past that? Because I think everybody has a bit of that. We're all going, oh, we worry what people think, and it stops us from doing stuff. But how do you get past that? Like, I'm doing a lot of reading and personal development, but it's still, like, I thought I'd kind of got past it, but this call made me go, oh yeah, I didn't message that person earlier because I was so worried she's going to think I'm just, that I genuinely think she needs Arbonne, like it's coming from a good place, but I'm worried that she's going to think that I'm just like, oh, it's a network marketer, and I need to kind of get past that.
Okay. Claire, hang on with me. We're going to work together. That's a good one. So here's the thing. You have already created in your mind what you think the outcome is going to be. Okay? Stop creating the outcome in advance. You don't know how she's going to respond, but it's amazing. We say, well, she may say this, and this person might say this, and don't listen. Don't be the judge and jury in somebody else's life. Okay, when somebody says to me, I'm really caring about what this person thinks about me, my first question is why? Why do you care what they think? Well, because of this and that. Here's the end of the day. You can't control what people are going to think, right, Claire? You can't control that. But you also have total control over understanding that what you do is valuable, life-changing, and game-changing in somebody's life. You know that. You know that as much as you know you can't control what somebody's going to think. So what I do is I put more emphasis on the value that I'm bringing than what the person's going to be thinking. Ooh, Danny, there's a good one. Wow, somebody write that down. I got to write that down for myself. Focus on the value that you're bringing, not what other people are thinking. Okay? So when you focus on the value you're bringing, you can't control what people think. Well, well, what if she thinks that I'm a network marketer? Well, you are a network marketer. What is the problem with that? Well, she's going to think it's a pyramid. Well, what is a pyramid? See, we're automatically coming up with all of these things. Okay, here's Emma. I'm worried that people are thinking I'm trying to sell them. If they think you're trying to sell them after you're trying to help them, you probably don't need them. Hello. Okay, you got to see, once again, I'm worried that people are going to think I'm trying to sell them. If I come to you, Emma, wherever Emma is, if I come to you and I say, oh, have you been to this restaurant down over by the river over? Oh, it's unbelievable. You've got to go try that restaurant. You're going to love it. Is that selling? Or did I just use my excitement to encourage you to do something that you'd like? We do the same thing in the business, yet we think, well, I don't want to sound like I'm selling. Selling what? You're telling people about a great opportunity to improve their health from the inside out. You're giving people an opportunity to have a vehicle that can give them more time, money, and freedom in their life. You're sharing this with people, giving people this opportunity, and we're worried that we're going to sound like we're selling them. Well, if they think that you're trying to listen, if somebody's going to be upset that I'm trying to sell them on having a better life or sell them on feeling better, looking better, being better, if that's their thoughts, I don't need them. Next. And move on to the next person. Stop worrying about stuff like that. What if they think I'm being too pushy? Well, what does that mean? What is pushy? Now, if you call somebody 3 times a day, every day for 2 weeks, you're being pushy. Short of that, when people say this to me, Danny, well, I'm afraid of feeling pushy. My question is, what does that mean? Being pushy. Describe your definition of pushy. What is it? Because people don't even know. They just say it. Why? Because it's easy to hide behind something so you don't have to face your fear. It's easy to hide behind something so you don't have to face your fear. So if you have a fear of talking to people or calling people, well, I'm afraid of being pushy. That sounds good. Does that sound good? Yeah. You used it too? Great. I'll use it too. Yeah, pushy. That's it. It's pushy. It's a mental block. It's a mindset block. Okay? Being pushy is something we perceive in our minds. It's amazing how we care so much what other people think about what we're doing. Yet they're not even thinking about what we're doing at all until we present it to them. So what we have to do is we have to understand when we're talking to people that what you are selling is hope. What you are selling is a better way of life. What you are selling is giving people the chance to take back control of their life. That's what you're selling. When people used to ask me in my business, okay, what are you selling? Anybody ever had that? As somebody ask you that? What are you selling? Well, we got this 30-day healthy living program. It's unbelievable. We have these shakes and these fizzy sticks and their eyes of this and blah, blah, blah. No. People say to me, what are you selling? You know what I'm selling? I'm selling people an opportunity to have a better life. I'm selling people an opportunity to take control of their life back. I'm selling people an opportunity to live their own dreams instead of working for somebody else's. That's what I'm selling. Does that sound like anything you'd be interested in buying? And then they would laugh and they'd say, well, that kind of sounds interesting. And how does that work? Well, guess what? Let's get together over a cup of coffee and I'll show it to you. See, that's confidence. The next time somebody says to you, so what are you selling? I'm selling the opportunity for people to have a better life. I'm selling the opportunity of people to take their life back and control their life. I'm selling people an opportunity to be able to live their dreams instead of working for somebody else's. That's what I'm selling. Does that sound like anything you'd be interested in buying? You would be amazed how much that works. I'm selling the opportunity to find 10 more people to join the team and be on the next Jerry. There you go. There you go. Everybody needs to be on these calls because these calls are not just business calls, they're life calls. What I just gave you right now is life. What I just gave you right now, you can teach your kids tonight. It's not just business, it's a life call. But you have to have the confidence. What are you selling? Hope. I'm selling vision. I'm selling a chance to buy back your life. I'm selling a chance for you to live your dreams rather than building somebody else's. That's what I'm selling. Does that sound like something that you might be interested in buying into? Well, how does it work? Why don't we get together over a cup of coffee and I'll show you. Confidence. Don't be afraid of what you have. Stop listening to people who are more jacked up than you. Okay? Don't call your friend who's filing bankruptcy and ask them, what do you think about this business? Don't talk to somebody who's never built a network marketing business. My dad, I have a very close relationship. I love my dad. And my dad is a very successful entrepreneur. He had a drapery business in LA, in Los Angeles for 40 years. He's one of the top drapery men in the world. But when it came to talking to him about network marketing, I didn't get advice from him. You say, well, why? He's your dad. He's my dad. When it comes to getting life advice, I go to my dad first. When it comes to talking to my dad about a business model that he does not understand, I'm not talking to my dad. I'm talking to somebody who understands the network marketing business model. Now, my father built a business, but it wasn't a network marketing business. And we all know that a normal traditional business and a network marketing business are two radically different businesses. So when it comes to getting life advice, I talk to my dad. When it comes time to talking to him about business with something he doesn't understand, I don't talk to him. I go find people that have been successful and say, help me understand. That's what we need to start doing, my friends. Stop listening to people who are more messed up than we are and start listening to people that know what they're talking about. That's a message there. So, Danny, I'll turn it back to you and I'll read some of these.
That is so powerful. And it's just like the saying, isn't it? Like, don't go and ask somebody for advice on a medical issue when they've got no medical background whatsoever. And it's just the same. So I think we all really needed to hear this call. Like when you got on, Jerry, and you said that the best calls are the unplanned ones, like what you've said in the last 45 minutes is exactly what we all needed to hear. And if you managed to catch up much on the chat, everybody, I think, is having some sort of shift somewhere along the line. So thank you so much for all that time that you've given us, Jerry.
Danny, one more before we go. I got to address Natasha's question. I just saw it. I have to address this. Okay. So Natasha says, I put my heart and soul in my business. It hasn't rocketed the way I hoped. Happens to a lot of people. I feel people don't take me seriously. That's probably because you don't take yourself seriously. And it's put me down and I feel I've abandoned my business and it isn't what I want. How do I change my way of thinking? Remind yourself of why you started the business in the first place. And you're right. You are being led by your emotions, and you can't win in a business when you're being led by your emotions. You got to develop thick skin. You got to develop that kind of thick skin where that stuff falls out of you. But here's the thing. If you don't take yourself and your business seriously, how do you expect other people to take you seriously? It all starts with that. It's the bottom line. So stop looking at, well, I haven't accomplished what I've wanted so far. Who cares? What does it matter that you haven't? What matters is, what are you going to do from this point on? Are we going to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves, have a pity party, beat ourselves up, quit the business, give up on our dreams because of what other people think or say? Or are we going to say, you know what, I've got to figure out what can I learn from this experience? What can I learn? How can I take this and get better and grow? And you keep on going, okay? But no one's going to take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously, that you don't believe in your dreams. And yeah, people are going to disappoint you. People are going to upset you. And yes, it's tough. I'm not in any way telling you it's not tough. It is tough sometimes. But you know what winners do? They get back up. They dust themselves off and they say, one more time, one more time, one more time. That's what you need to do. Little by little, step by step, stuff like that. So anyway, Danny, I want to be respectful of time. I know you guys have some other calls to get on too.
Thank you so much, Jerry. And I will share the call that Jerry did earlier on about a lady that set herself a little running target as well, which was an amazing call. So it just piggybacked nicely off to the back of this. One last question, Jerry. With the goal card, some people have said, should they set their long-term goal or should they set... So Caroline Stalker said she wants to go... She's an RVP. She wants to go nation in October. Should she make that her goal on the goal card or break it back a little bit?
Remember these three letters. P, B, Q. Promote, bonus, qualify. Promote, bonus, qualify. That's how you set up your goal card, like a step ladder. So as an example, she a region?
Yes.
Okay. When you're a region going nation, you put the 160 goal up there. That's your ultimate goal. But the problem is it's such a big gap that if stuff doesn't start to happen and you don't have little successes along the way, you get frustrated. So the way I teach people how to do the goal card when you're a region, first goal on the goal card, 60,000. Bonus is a region. That's goal number one. When you hit that goal, second goal on the goal card, 80,000, halfway to nation qual. Once you hit that goal, next goal, 100,000. Break through the mental barrier of a 6-figure volume month. Once you hit that, where you go from there is depending on the team and your momentum. There's some people who could go from 100 to 160. Or you may say, you know what? I've got to pass 120 on the way to 160, so I'm going to make my goal 120. That doesn't mean you only have to hit it. You can pass it. You can pass it. But here's the thing. Every goal you set, every goal you hit, you create mental momentum in your mindset. Your mind equates to success. I set a goal for 60. Boom, I hit it. Whoa, I hit a goal for 80. Boom, I hit it. Hit a goal for 100. I hit it. Your mind picks that up and goes, wow, we're on a roll. We're hitting goals. Now you're creating momentum. But if you just go from a region to my next goal is 160 and you skip everything else in between, you don't give your mind anything to grasp onto that will create that mental momentum that will thrust you into accomplishing your goal. So that's how I teach regions how to set their goal card. And it must work because I've had at least 22 people that are national vice presidents now that are work with me as regions that have all said that that goal card and that breakdown was a major part in what helped them get to nation. So I know it works. But if you do it like that, you keep your mind in the game, and that's how you get things accomplished.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I just echo that. I get messages from people all the time saying, like, should I have coaching with Coach Jerry? And I'm like, Coach Jerry was instrumental to the growth in my business and continues to be. So thank you so much, Jerry, for everything that you do.
Thank you, Danny.
And I'll liaise with you about hopefully getting you booked in for another call.
Next month.
Love
you guys. Take care, everybody. See you next month.
Bye.